Welcome back to the channel. To anybody new, subscribe. Is that good? Should I try another one? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we have a bunch of car parts that we're gonna put on, so I got a lot on my mind right now. We picked up a Legacy Radiator for this thing because it's spewing coolant. The last video I started with a shot of the hood of the Legacy at night spewing coolant everywhere, so if you're wondering what that shot was, that's what it was. So we got a radiator, we got a $3 oil filter for the Honda, we got a radiator cap, which they charged me for, but I didn't really need that. And we got some spark plugs for the Legacy, and I'll show you why. All right, so I imported this car with 78,000 kilometers or so. So I've had it for about 46,000 K. I haven't done the spark plugs yet. And right now it's pretty good. But normally at idle, you'll see the RPM will just dance around a little bit and you'll feel like a very slight misfire. And it's not all the time, but it's usually when it's cold and it's usually at idle. Once the RPMs go up, it's fine. So I'm thinking it's plugs. We got some plugs for 4 plugs for 35 bucks or so. So we're gonna replace them and see if that does the trick. It was snowing earlier today, so I was really excited and I just wanna slide this puppy. Like, this thing slides so well and it's so fun. I had a buddy that had one of these and he was telling me that he would third gear slide it, like on the back roads. He lives in the Gibbons area. And I'm like, third gear? I had the Saab at the time. I'm like, a third gear drift, like snow drift? I'm like, that's like, you're cooking. And like, does that thing actually have the power to third gear drift? Because the Saab didn't. The Saab was like first gear and second gear machine. Third gear, you'd have to go way too fast to do it. It didn't have torque down low. This thing, third gear, oh man, like this thing's fun. So I want to get this radiator replaced so I can just rip this thing, because it heats up, it gets hot, and that's the last thing you want. I haven't been able to do pulls in this thing for quite a while. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do some pulls.
Life is good.
We'll call that one.
You know what I mean?
Boom! You guys notice anything different? I sure hope so. My beautiful girlfriend got me a brand new camera, so there you go. The YouTube quality was a little on the rough side, so hopefully it's much better now. I don't have the settings set up probably how I should. No way. It's got voice command, baby. I feel so high tech with a new camera. It's got voice command. Does anybody know what it is? Let's see some guesses down below. Anyway, here's our new rad. Hopefully it fits. Hose connections look to be in the right spot. Oh, that's cool. Feels so pimp and so baller, like a dog with no collar. I guess we can test the mic on this thing too. Okay, so right now, we're just taking off the air box here, or the air box feeder. Oh, this little light mine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. That's a leaky rad. Check out this leaky rad here. It's just, it would shoot on everything. I do a pull and I would just smell coolant and it would leak everywhere. So where can we set you guys? Oh man, so ugly. It's a leaky, peaky rad. Oh, you're going back here for now. Perfect. Impact in 12 mil acquired. Going in. Under tray was full of coolant. It's gonna be a long video. Okay, so I have 3 of these 2-liter ice cream pails to catch my coolant because I just did my timing belt maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So it's new coolant in there and I want to save it, or at least attempt to save it. So I doubt there's more than 8 liters in there. I'm gonna use these. I got the 3 rad holder duders off here, whatever you want to call them. And now we're gonna go underneath and I'll take you with me. We are going to take off the lower rad hose and drain some coolant. Okay, welcome to the rodeo. Let's make a mess. Here we go. Oh, it's gonna be really messy. Whoa. Is coolant good for your eyeballs? I doubt it. Come on, baby. There we go. Put you there for now. Now, if I was smart and not cheap, I would have got some newer rad hoses. But I didn't, so we're just gonna rotate these puppies off. Oh, here comes the waterfall. Here it comes. Oh man. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Come on, baby. Oh, you got me. Oh man. Okay. It's kind of like milking a cow, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna opt for the slow leak here. Just because I don't want to go full bore and then I can't get a new ice cream pail in place in time. Still looking pretty blue, pretty good. Spraying on me a little bit. I wonder how much coolant it is. Probably, I'm gonna guess 6 liters. Not even 2 liters yet. Could be more than that. Let's take off the rad cap here and see what happens. Okay, old rad cap is off. 2 liters of coolant? No. Okay, well there's still some in the reservoir, so we obviously gotta get it out of there. I should have looked up a tutorial maybe. Okay, so I have the big upper rad hose off now. I'm gonna take these couple little upper rad hoses off, these smaller ones. So there's a one that's about 3/4 of an inch and this little one that's maybe 3/8 of an inch or so. All right, so meanwhile, we're on our 3rd bucket of coolant here. It just keeps slowly draining out, which is nice. Now we gotta tackle these rad fans and get these out of here. And how do we get this little bolt out here? We gotta take this coolant tank off, and there's still coolant in the reservoir. That. I'll slap this piece on the new rad. That goes into there. Goes onto there. Good. Okay, so I'm underneath now, unplugging the rad fans. I've been trying to get this off for about 10 minutes from the top and then under here, and I couldn't get it off. I'm trying to push this and pull, 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 pull. I'm like, wow, it's really seized on there. Banging my head against a wall. And all you have to do is lift this tab outward. You don't push it in. This one you lift outward, and look, I can do it with one hand. Maybe. Oh yeah, we'll get her. Okay, maybe 2 hands. Okay, it might be a little hard to see here. We just got the other rad fan unplugged from underneath. This bolt here needed the 10 mil little wrenchy because the impact wouldn't fit in there. So now we're gonna pull these rad fans out. Easy as that. This is my first time doing a rad and no tutorial or anything. I'm surprised I actually did it. Just goes to show you, if you don't know what you're doing, but you take it step by step, you can do anything. So I'm surprised at how big the AC condenser is in this thing. My Saab, it was about 1/3 of the size. So this one's got a fat AC condenser. But anyways, let's get this new rad in here. All right, new rad going in. So I guess just do everything in the opposite order, slap it all back in. All right, so all hose clamps are back on, everything's back together. Make sure you plug in the rad fans, both sides, and now we can go ahead and put our coolant back in our radiator here. I put the roughly 5 liters of coolant that I got out of this thing back in there, plus another 1.5 liters of some old BMW coolant I had. And it's still not full yet. It's not full here. And if I go into here, it's not even close to being full yet. So I got to go pick up some more coolant tomorrow. So I can't burp the system, but I'll show you guys how to burp it tomorrow. See you then. In the meantime, we may as well throw some spark plugs in. So I was just taking the coil pack off here, and my ratchet is now stuck between the subframe and the bolt there. So I got to throw a pickup in there and reverse this ratchet and screw this bolt in a bit, take the ratchet off, and try a wrench or something. You sure don't make it easy to do plugs in these things. Okay, that took a hot minute, but we got this one coil pack out so far. That's where we are. Okay, we're about to pull out the first spark plug. I'm expecting it to be very old and dingy because I've had the car for 46,000 K. I've never done plugs. Who knows how long they've been sitting in there before I bought it, so... not horrible. I thought they looked like the Civics, like really old and eroded, but not too bad. A little bit of oil on there though. Okay, we haven't checked in a little bit here. The spark plugs were really starting to piss me off, so I went and Googled the easiest way to do it. And it is from the top. I thought the bottom would be easy because I could see them pretty easy. But you got to take the battery out. You got to take the air box out. Take the cover off here. Take the cover off over there. Then you can get to the spark plugs a little easier. While I have the intake box out, I'm going to take off this intake silencer thing. I took it off on my Saab, which was a boxer engine as well, and it gave it some more intake noise and a little bit of blow-off noise, like a little bit of spool noise and blow-off, so it sounded pretty cool. I'm going to do that to this one as well. It was this one little Phillips clip you take out, and then it looks like we're just going to grab a flathead and take this thing out. All right, it's the morning now. I literally stayed up until 2:30 in the morning trying to get this spark plug out on this side, which is the first one I was trying to work on. So I got the second one out. First one, I cracked the porcelain on the spark plug. It got lodged in by the hex. Couldn't get it out. Tried until 2:30 to pick out the porcelain. I got some out, but I still couldn't get it out. Gave up at 2:30. Started early again this morning. And this one came out easy, this coil pack. But the back one there is just hitting the frame, and I have no idea how to get it out. I took the wire off the coil pack, and I've been rotating it every which way. I can't get it out. So when I do get it out, you guys will be the first to know. Okay, literally right after I took that last video, I rotated this thing upside down, gave it a good yank, and it popped right out. So that's how you do it, is it sits in there this way on the back cylinder, and then you gotta rotate it upside down after you unplug it, and then reef it out like that. Okay, we now join you from this side of the engine, where I have porcelain stuck in the hole by the spark plug, and therefore I cannot get it out. So we'll see if we can show you this on camera. I'll see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, you can see a little bit of porcelain in there. So I didn't think of this. I've been trying to get this porcelain out for a combined probably 1.5 hours, 2 hours, maybe more. So I got the air compressor. We're gonna try blowing it out. Oh, there we go. I should have done that last night before 2 in the morning. Okay, can you tell which one's the new plug and which one's the old one? Look at that cracked porcelain. That's so bad.
Darling, you send me, I know you send me, darling, you send me.
We're back, boy! This rear spark plug has been such a nuisance, or sorry, the coil pack. It, again, took me about 20 minutes to get it in, fighting with it. What I finally did was I moved this little shield out of the way here, and it gave me that extra like 1/4 inch of room to slide it in there. I couldn't get the boot over the spark plug. It was so difficult. Okay, so I got some more coolant, and we topped up this upper tank here. So I'm gonna start the car, and it's gonna flush out some of these bubbles. This is called burping it. You gotta press down harder then. Okay, let's start it up. New spark plugs too, see how she likes it. Look at this Legacy. Okay, so as far as I know, when burping the coolant system, you want to leave it running for a little while. You want the rad fans to cycle on and off, and you want it to slurp up some coolant. It already drank that, so we're gonna put a little more in there. Burping the system, baby.
Burping. It's bubbling.
Okay, everything's finally buttoned up in the engine compartment. I just have to put the under tray on. I'm gonna show you guys what I did here as well. While I was waiting for some other things, I cleaned this up really well with Blake fluid, with brake fluid, and I put some JB Weld on there, like the steel stick stuff, because this hose in the winter obviously is really hard and it leaks. So you can see I have a hose clamp, I have the original clamp, and I have a zip tie on there, and it still leaks a little bit. So we're gonna see if that holds up. Just because I'm cheap and I didn't want to pay for a new hose there. So we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I can buy a new hose anytime. All right, guys, that about does it for this video. I don't know where my last clip was because this is the first time I picked up the camera today, pretty much, vlogging wise at least. I wanted to, no, you know what? That's gonna be at the start of the next video. I have some things to announce. I don't know who watches the videos all the way through, so I don't want to put announcements at the end of the video where potentially people don't see it. So I want to give you some fortune cookie advice today. Something that's a little bland, but can be used in any scenario. And that advice today is patience. That's all I'm going to give you. Okay, so that's about it. Why was I going to start another video? Okay, that's it. See you guys next time.